president, I am in what's called the bubble. And Secret Service makes sure that I'm always out of danger, which I very much appreciate, but can be a little confining. In fact, every once in a while when I go off track, if I do something unexpected, the phrase we use is that the bear is loose. And somebody tries to grab a tranquilizer gun, make sure that they get me back in the cage. So to be with bear in the woods, it doesn't get any better than that.
So the president often jokes about being inside this bubble, almost like a cage. But actually it's true.
I was telling your producers that the bubble is so tight that, and it's the toughest thing about being president. So every once in a while I'll go off script, and everybody gets very nervous.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you guys ready?
All set? So safety is always our main concern on these journeys, but with the president, obviously it got taken to another level. So we had sniper teams all the way along the route in the mountains, and just before we started filming, a military helicopter started circling the area above us. And to be honest, I have no idea, you know, what they're up there looking for. Actually, I'm not even sure I want to know. Would you ever encourage your girls to go into politics?
No.
Really?
But if they came to me and they said they wanted to go into elective office,
Yeah.
I would be completely supportive.
Yeah.
Because I think it can be noble work if done for the right reasons, the right way. You know, what I try to teach my daughters is be useful and be kind.
Yes.
And if you do those two things, then wherever your passions take you, you'll turn out okay, and
Being kind is such a big one. It's not complicated, is it?
No, it really isn't.
Sometimes we have a journey in life to come around to realizing, actually, you're
The
right,
simplest
that
stuff.
is it.
Try to be useful to somebody and try to be kind. I'm starving. Let's see what you got. I've seen some of the things bear eats, and it's got to be something that doesn't still have its legs and eyes on it. You know, I want it not to be too recognizable. All right, what do we got?
Well, Alaska is a land of bear and salmon. We haven't got bear.
Oh, look at this.
But,
Look at this.
and now this is for real. I found this on the riverbank, okay? So don't freak out too much, but this was half eaten by a bear.
Now, why wouldn't the bear finish this sucker?
Well, because...
This looks like a nice looking piece of fish.
Yeah, but what, if you notice, what they've had is all the high fat content, the eggs, bit of the skin. They'll often take the brain as well. If there's a lot of fish in the river, they'll leave the meat because they want that high density calorific value fat.
Interesting. So a bear has chewed on this sucker.
Yeah, but we're going to cook it up, so it's going to be good.
All right.
So I think the president looked a little surprised when I pulled out this sort of bloody carcass of half-eaten salmon.
Oh, I heard a little sizzle there.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. I think a piece of salmon, that'll work just fine. It would have been nice if we had had a cracker to go with it.
Okay, should we try a little bit of this?
Yeah, let's try that. That's tasty.
Well, that's proper Alaskan salmon for you.
Bear's a mediocre cook, but the fact that we ate something recognizable was encouraging. Now, the fact that he told me that this was a leftover fish from a bear, I don't know if that was necessary. He could have just left that out.
Wow, check that out.
Look at that. Unbelievable.
That's cool, isn't it? It's quite a special moment when we come out of the forest, come over this rise, and bam, right in front of us is this huge, giant white face of the snout at the end of the glacier. Okay, lunch, here we go.
All right, what do we got?
Well, Alaska is a land of bear and salmon. We haven't got bear,
Oh, look at this.
but...
Look at this.
And now this is for real. I found this on the riverbank, okay? So don't freak out too much. I think the president looked a little surprised when I pulled out this sort of bloody carcass of half-eaten salmon. This was half-eaten by a bear.
Now, why wouldn't the bear finish this sucker?
Well, because...
This looks like a nice looking piece of fish.
Yeah, but what, if you notice, what they've had is all the high-fat content, the eggs, bit of the skin. They'll often take the brain as well. If there's a lot of fish in the river, they'll leave the meat because they want that high-density calorific value fat.
Interesting. So a bear has chewed on this sucker.
Yeah, but we're going to cook it up, so it's going to be good.
All right. I've seen some of the things bear eats. I think a piece of salmon, that'll work just fine. Oh, I heard a little sizzle there.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. The fact that he told me that this was a leftover fish from a bear, I don't know if that was necessary. He could have just left that out.
You seem to push through so many things that you believe in. What have you learned about getting things done that are really on your heart?
Persistence. I'm a big believer in persistence. They've done studies of kids growing up in important neighborhoods or war-torn regions of the world, and the kids who survive it and thrive, it's not necessarily the smartest kid. It's not necessarily the strongest kid. It's the most resilient kid. And I think that's true in just about every circumstance. A lot of stuff that you try is not going to work. But if you stay determined, typically you can make real progress. And you have to have something of an even keel so that you don't get too high and you don't get too low in order to stay determined. You know, one of the things that I try to tell my daughters is don't believe the hype when things are going good, and don't despair when things are going bad. Yeah. It's funny. Kids are such a good foil, aren't they, to remind us of those sort of values, you know, because we all have days where we feel a bit beaten up. Absolutely.
So when I was cooking lunch for the president, the guy who checks that all of his food is safe was kind of, you know, watching me like a hawk. And it turns out the White House actually has a very strict policy about the president not being seen to eat anything on camera, let alone a half-eaten salmon. I sort of expected the president's food advisor to, you know, step in and stop the filming, but I kind of think he was, you know, following the president's lead.
That's tasty.
And luckily, good for him, the commander-in-chief was up for it.